Hey there. Good morning. I'm meteorologist Ben Peine. It is Ben at 10 on this gloomy start to this Thursday, Halloween Eve, though, and things are going to be improving for this afternoon. So that's the good news. It's a little chilly out there. I mean, this is kind of close to my least favorite type of weather, and that is cold rain. It's in the mid 40s. If it was the mid 30s and raining, it would be even more least favorite kind of weather. But it is kind of wrapping up. It's just, some sprinkles here and there and some drizzle. The low pressure system, which I can show right here, is beginning to slide off to the east. And so the center of it, excuse me, let me go back to here. The center of this low pressure system is now basically over West Virginia. So around an area of low pressure, we talk about this a lot. You get a counterclockwise flow, and that is cyclonic flow. So we've got this fetch of air coming in from the north and northwest today and just wrapping around some drizzle here, I'd say through about 1 or 2 p.m. But the good news is, as the sun comes up, we're seeing a nice clearing trend out to the west. Let me hit pause on our radar loop, and there you can see the sunshine coming out. That is a horrible drawing. I got to do better than that. All right, let me hit pause again. All right, so here out west, bear with me today. Here is the sunshine that it looks like we'll start to get maybe late afternoon. And we'll start to see that clearing trend commencing across the area. So again, improving conditions from the blah, the that we have out there now. And so it's going to be pretty, raw and dreary out there through the morning time, through about midday. And then we'll start to see, again, the improving conditions later this afternoon. As I bring up the radar and satellite once again as well, it's kind of like little spokes of drizzle that are going to be kind of cruising through from time to time. So you can see that little batches that we still have across the area. But again, hour by hour through this afternoon from west to east, we are going to be improving. The sunshine should finally return here for us later on today. So that is definitely the good news. Also, I've got a ton of good news, by the way. It's Halloween Eve. We've got Halloween tomorrow, cool sunshine for trick-or-treaters in the 50s. Might get a sprinkle or a few light rain showers Saturday and Sunday for our first November weekend, but mostly dry. We've got our time change we'll talk about. But our first work week of November is looking phenomenal. Dry weather all next week. And it might not be till next Saturday when we have a front that'll move through. So some great news for our first work week of November as well. And we'll take another live look outside. Let's see what's happened to this camera here. There we go. This is up in Brown County, Indiana. So this is the Brown County Inn Hotel, Restaurant, and Bar. I've been there before. It's a pretty cool place. But there you can see we're starting to, I would say, hitting the peak of that fall foliage over much of the area here over the next week. It's kind of a race in time as these leaves are dropping and how much color we'll actually have. I don't think it's going to be the most brilliant fall foliage that we've ever seen because the drought conditions that we had earlier in the season. But again, thanks for popping on. If you're going to be dropping in the comments, say hello, good morning, weather question. Let us know if you want to see some different maps, help guide your weather show here on Ben at 10 for Southern Indiana and beyond. And throughout the world. Who knows who's watching this show throughout. We've had folks in Europe tune in every once in a while. But thanks for being here, part of the weather family here this morning. Thanks for watching, whether it's on my page, Meteorologist Ben Peine, Extol Weather on Facebook, Extol Media on YouTube, and extolmag.com/weather on the good old World Wide Web. And thanks for liking or subscribing and maybe hitting those notifications on the YouTube. We'll give you a cheers here as we tap into the comments and see who's popping in with good old Big Happy. I see someone wanting to fast forward to spring already. We have someone who does not like winter. All right, we're up and running here on a Thursday, a Friday Eve, a Halloween Eve, and we've got Beverly Haggis popping in from Borden, Indiana. I mean, 99% chance Beverly's the first comment. So thanks for being in there. Tim Furnish, can we just fast forward to the springtime? I don't know how many days away that is, but it's a long ways out. I was just thinking this morning because it was cold and dreary. I'm like, we got November, December, January, February. March is still a pretty raw month. April gets better with Thunder over Louisville and the Derby Fest. 5 months of cold months ahead. So it's a happy thought. Orlean Whitlow, usually the second comment, third this morning. Good morning. 45 degrees and drizzling. I want the sunshine. So that's the good news. We'll see the sunshine. Those of you west of I-65 will see it first. East of I-65 might take just a little bit longer. Hey, Bonnie Lindberger from Mount Washington. Chilly and windy. Yeah, there's been some good breezes out there around 10 to 20 miles per hour. A little bit of a wind chill factor as we get started. And Lillian Lasley with 47 degrees at her house. And Rita Harmon needs the sunshine. This is kind of been a training week to get us ready for the cloudy days of late fall and winter. But we've got a lot of sunshine ahead. You're going to love the 7-day forecast that we have coming up here for you. I'm going to bring back up the rad sat here, but I'm going to switch this over to the live radar view as we look at some current conditions here. Many areas have picked up to about an inch of rainfall, and that's kind of what's been expected. We just got little mist, little pieces of light rain here and there, just a tad bit steadier here between Madison and Scottsburg, there in western Jefferson County, Indiana. A little pocket of rain there north of LaGrange. And again, just enough to not know how much to put the windshield wipers on. Just that intermittent use of the windshield wipers. And the roads, again, still a bit damp out there as we look live here in downtown New Albany or uptown New Albany at the corner of Vincent's and Market, where the roads are still damp, where the road blends in with that beautiful gray sky on this Thursday, October the 30th. We're about to wrap up this month already. All right, before we dig into some stuff here, let me also bring up, we've got a bunch of stuff we can show this morning. Well, and again, a lot of good news this morning as well. It's just another live view out there with the Falls of the Ohio Foundation.org camera, fallsoftheohio.org. And again, everything just kind of blending in, seeing less leaves on the trees as well. So again, I think might be short-lived fall foliage color this season, unfortunately. So what we have here is our live stream here at extolmag.com/weather. We've got hour-by-hour forecast. We've got 7-day forecast. We've got the weather story that I posted this morning that just give you a little in-depth look at our weather. The severe weather outlooks from the Storm Prediction Center. Absolutely no severe weather happening. And as we look around, the U.S. Drought Monitor has been released today, and that's just going to be good news for us. We are completely out of drought over southern Indiana and Kentucky, while the severe drought continues over northeastern Indiana into northwestern Ohio. So that's good news for us. Got you linked up to some weather and traffic maps here with TrafficWise in dot. If you ever just want to click around, check out what's happening traffic-wise, you can do that there. And we've got Trish Turner saying, I'm so ready for some sunshine. You're not alone. Since it started raining, the leaves are falling fast around here, but we don't have the color. Yeah, that's kind of the concern there for those that want to do some leaf peeping. Checking out that fall foliage might not, again, be the best for it this year. There's a look at I-65 there at Sellersburg, which they've got a fun event there at Ivy Tech there at the Sellersburg exit. We'll talk about the Trunk or Treat Fest at Ivy Tech coming up a little bit later. And then we're back to the big old interactive radar, which, again, just showing bits and pieces of some drizzle around the area. And look at that. Those temperatures all stuck in the 40s throughout Indiana and Kentucky and throughout metro Louisville. And then a little bit colder when you look up north Wisconsin at 28 there. And the center of this system is starting to pull off to the east. All right. All righty, right. We're moving right along here. I want to thank our partners here real quick, and we'll go moving into your detailed forecast. We got your weather jokes, we got your weather history, we got your 7-day forecast. We're going to dig into the weather models. We got your long range forecast. We got all the good stuff here for our Thursday morning. Lions Roofing, make sure that nothing leaking, nothing wrong with your roof. You can get a free estimate here, protecting your most valuable asset for a lifetime. It is Lions Roofing, LYONS roofingco.com, or call them either side of the river. They got you covered, 812-294-3595. Some great folks here, family owned, right out of Memphis, Indiana. And you can see more about the history of their company and how they can help you. And as we mentioned, you might have to work with your insurance company. I trust this guy right here, Michael Long. He's my insurance agent, my mom's insurance agent, with the house and the cars, the barn, the side-by-side, the cabin, all that good stuff. Whatever you might need covered, he's got you covered. And they've had price renewal reductions, reductions in the auto renewal prices. And thankfully, I've seen that on our bill. And you can get a quote. Tell them I sent you, 812-578-3072. You can message him right here at amfam.com. Just search Michael Long. So, again, we thank our partners out there for letting us do what we do right here on the show. And if you ever want to get in contact with me, you want to be a partner as well, you want to see your logos, your business or organization logos on our products, we can do interviews, we can do all kinds of stuff. You can contact me or just a weather question, Ben at extolmag.com or Jason at extolmag.com. All right, let's dig into it. Here's your weather headlines for today. Morning rain and then drying out this afternoon. And likely seeing some sunshine returning to the area later today. Cool Halloween sunshine tomorrow with temperatures in the upper 50s, and then dropping slowly during trick-or-treat time. We've got the weekend time change as we have a 5:42 p.m. sunset Sunday. We've been talking a lot about that for a long time. And then a nice weather pattern for next week. 60s and sunshine for next week. Not the best play ball forecast here. Temperatures in the 50s. I bet there'll still be some folks out on the golf course or wherever. That rain chance here is this morning and then drying out this afternoon. Northwest wind around 10 to 20, so breezy at times. And today it is the Trunk or Treat Fest at Ivy Tech, Sellersburg campus, 5:30 to 7:30. That's going to be the Ogle Hall. So it's going to be indoors, but it'll be dry either way. And so head out there and preload that Halloween candy, making the kids happy out there. They've got food, pumpkin crafts, games, music, family photos. So go check it out there. Free family event. And lots of folks heading out there. There's the trick-or-treat forecast. Partly sunny tomorrow, 50s, and our sunset at 6:44. So really not too shabby. We've had colder. We've had warmer. It's kind of right in the middle here. And how many days until that time change? 3 days away, of course, Saturday and Sunday. Average highs in the 50s in 12 days. We're already getting head start on that. And then the average first flurries happen in 16 days. Kind of doubting it'll happen. I think it's going to be later. And then Thanksgiving in 28 days. Our weather history for today. You got to get through the weather history before you get to the weather jokes. That's part of the deal here. But the 1991, they made a movie about this. The perfect storm, also known as the no-name storm, reached maximum strength with a low pressure of 972 millibars and sustained winds of 69 miles per hour. But remember, Hurricane Melissa had a pressure of 892 millibars, so way stronger. 1993, 2 to 6 inches of snow fell across the southern half of Indiana. Does anybody here remember that? 2004, University of Hawaii students visiting the library had to escape through a window due to surging floodwaters. And in 2011, an unusually severe early season winter storm swept up the Appalachians into New England. Over a foot of snow fell from West Virginia to Maine, with more than 2 feet in the mountains of Massachusetts and New Hampshire. Winds over 50 miles per hour reported on Nantucket Island and Martha's Vineyard. I don't remember that at all. Here's your stupid weather jokes for today. What do you call a foggy airplane landing? Condescending. Get it? Condensation. This could be 2 jokes, though. What do you call a mean airplane landing? Condescending. All right. I stayed up all night wondering where the sun went. Then it dawned on me. And finally, the sun returns later today. Why is it hard on people to wake up at dawn in Greece? Because dawn is tough on Greece. Get it? The old commercial, Dawn, the soap. Dawn is tough on Greece. And we've got and Beverly says, I remember the snow on this day. Really? That's awesome. That's a little while ago, too. A southern Indiana late October snow. I'll pass. But show of hands. Who wants that in October? I always pop this up. This is from one of my neighbors, Keith, Tennessee. So, and actually, I'm if it's 30s and 40s and rain, I'd almost rather have snow than the raw stuff that we have out there now. All right, we're moving on. Here is your forecast for today. A high of 54 degrees. Light morning rain, then drying out this afternoon. Northwest winds at around 10 to 20. Lily and Lasley's got my back with the awesome jokes. I appreciate it. Sunset 6:45. Tonight, clearing and cooler, low 42. West wind around 5 to 10. And Orleans says, no big hurry for the snow. Indeed. All right. Tomorrow's forecast for your Friday. Halloween, October the 31st. Goodbye, October. Low 40s in the morning, but at least we have some sunshine tomorrow. 54 at noon, 58 for the high, and then dropping slowly through the 50s around sunset, which is at 6:44. So the trick-or-treaters and those warm costumes will be in good shape. Still a bit breezy tomorrow, but by late in the day, I think the winds will start to die down a little bit. So not too much of an extra chill out there. Our normal high is 64, so we're about 6 degrees below normal. And the 7-day forecast. So I'm giving it about a 20% chance of a sprinkle or a brief light rain shower at some point Saturday and Sunday because of a weak upper level low pressure system that moves around the region. I think it's going to bring some extra clouds. It's not going to be horrible. It's not, and I think it'll be mostly dry this weekend, but there might be just a sprinkle or two for our first November weekend here. We got the time change Saturday night that we talked about. And then check it out. I've got sunny icons for our first November work week and temperatures back into the 60s with lows in the lower 40s. That is about as normal as you can get for temperatures next week, as our average high is 65 and our normal low is 45 degrees. And that normal high is going to go down a degree or two by next week. So we're right in the middle of things with sunshine and a great week to maybe get that lot. Hopefully, what might be that last lawn mowing of the year, but who knows? If it stays mild for a while, maybe that grass will continue to grow for a while. Okay, we're moving right along here. I'm going to take another peek outside before we load up our weather model data here. Let me get back to that look outside. Pretty quiet there. Not much traffic here at the corner of Vincennes and Market right now as we look live outside. All right. It's kind of quiet in here as well. The cats aren't meowing. All right. Here's a look at the radar. Things are pretty quiet around the region. We just have a little drizzle left over. Let me bring up the satellite view, as that is what we're all wanting, is the return of sunshine. Let me see. Let's find the best way to show this. That's probably not the best way. All right, this is probably the best way. There you can see that clearing line, guys, right there. So they're seeing sunshine out in Vincennes and Evansville, Western Kentucky. Here is your sunshine. So it's going to be gradual. It's going to take a little time, but eventually it looks like that sky will be brightening this afternoon. Boyd Whitlow saying, I remember the snow in Trimble County when I lived there in 1993. There you go. Thanks for the memory. And so there's the sunshine. Let me clear this out. And we'll back up our view there. Look at that sharp line between clouds and clear. That clear sky moving into Western Kentucky and Indiana. So it's on the way. Again, improving conditions, not too far off. I'm going to go ahead and bring up the weather model data as we go hour by hour. It's coming up to 10:20, so it looks like we're pretty much right on time with that. And we'll go future radar. We will go to the model. We'll start with the NAM 3 kilometer. And there it shows. Let me pop this on here to around 10, 11 o'clock to time now. So it's picking up very well on just some leftover, sprinkles that we have across the area at the moment. Coffee break. Cheers. And let's scoot ahead to around 1 to 2 o'clock. It's keeping maybe a little bit of this rain east of I-65, drying out west of I-65. This is around 1 p.m. And this is at 2 o'clock. So that's going to stay maybe a little bit drizzly longer out towards Lexington, Madison, Indiana, up towards Cincinnati. Now that's the NAM 3 kilometers. I bring up the HRRR. This updates every hour. I'm going to bring this back to 2 p.m. And there you can see it drying out even a little bit sooner. And Dennis, you got it, my friend. Can it be true the rain will subside today? Yes, and you'll be one of the first to see the sunshine, that brightening sky out in the western sky. You're going to see that sunshine first because you're out there up in Bedford, Indiana. So it might be as soon as just a little bit later this morning, midday for you. But there's that rain scooting off to the east. Here is 4 p.m. today. That low pressure system off to the east of us. The center of it is right about there later today. And we'll start to get that drier air sliding in from the west. Still on the cool side today, a little bit breezy, but it's going to be nice to see that sunshine. All right, jumping ahead to 6 p.m. Again, that rain continues to drift off to the east. We'll see low temperatures tonight dipping down to the lower 40s. I'm going to jump this ahead to around 7 o'clock tomorrow morning with the temperatures as we get started. Look at that. Pretty cool over much of the United States. So these are the low temperatures tonight. They got 20s out west. We've got upper 30s, low 40s in our area for tonight. But even down south, they've got much of the United States feeling fall from coast to coast and border to border. Let's go down to Florida. Are they going to be able to deal with this in Florida? No way they get down to the 40s tonight. Look at that. That is chilly for our friends down in Florida. I hope they're going to be okay. Down to the 40s tonight, all the way to Florida. That's crazy. All right. Pretty good front moving through the region. All right, and then we go to tomorrow afternoon. And notice our friends down along the Gulf Coast, they're in the 60s. And we will be in the 50s tomorrow. And then our friends up in the north, they're going to be in the 30s tomorrow for Halloween. So that's kind of just plotting around the warmest down here in the desert Southwest, Southern Cali. But definitely you can see that cooler air winning out overall over much of the United States. I'm going to go ahead and switch this to we can go to the NAM weather model, and I'm going to switch this back into reflectivity. That means rainfall because the radar reflects off of raindrops. So this is our Halloween. We're all dry. You're October 31st. But what we'll watch here is this guy up here, a weak low pressure system. It is going to swing down into the Tennessee Valley and maybe bring us some clouds and a sprinkle chance or something like that for this weekend. All right, so let me get rid of that. And we'll just kind of go ahead here into our November the 1st. So notice it's just a blip of green kind of dropping into the region. This is at 5 p.m. Saturday. Now, that's the NAM weather model. The GFS, I don't think shows as much. This is 5 p.m. Saturday. That's why I've dropped a 20% chance of a brief shower or a sprinkle for Saturday. Probably a decent amount of cloud cover. Probably a good, with temperatures in the 50s, the clouds, the sprinkle, good soup day, chilly day, college football, we're getting to the period of time where we've got to figure out what to do inside. My wife and I are doing that right now. We're kind of, my son just has baseball lifting. He's not playing basketball. So we're in between sports between now and springtime. Our daughter's in college. So we've got, it's nice, but we've got extra time to fill in the evenings. So making adjustments, a different part of our lives, I guess I should say. All right, moving along. Back to the weather. This is 8 p.m. Saturday, and I'm going to go into Sunday morning. Shows a little bit of a blip. The trend has been a little better chance Sunday of rain shower in Kentucky, drier in Indiana. This is going into Sunday afternoon. If you look closely on whatever you're watching on your phone, your tablet, your TV, it shows just a little bit of light green. So just keeping that 20% chance of a sprinkle in there for Sunday as well. And then we are looking at a long stretch of dry weather as we head into next week. Our November, first full work week of November is looking awesome. I'm going into next Tuesday, and there is nothing happening. I kind of want to take a peek at the upper levels of the atmosphere, the 500 millibar winds. And so what this shows us here, this is a bit of a ridge, and then this is a trough. This will keep our temperatures near normal. We're not right in the middle of the trough where temperatures will be a little chillier, and we're not out here under the ridge where it's going to be warmer. We're kind of right in the middle, and that'll keep us in with normal temperatures in the lower 60s for much of next week. Clear that out. I'm going to jump ahead to the 5th. I think that is Wednesday next week. And there's not much action in the jet stream for us. This would be called a zonal flow, laminar flow, flat flow with the jet stream. When you get these dips, that's where you get some storm action. There's one out here. So the storms are off the coast in the middle, very quiet weather over much of the continental United States. Going into the 6th of November, and again, pretty quiet. Jet stream, quiet at the surface as well. I'm going to go back to the reflectivity at the surface. And this is on the 6th. So this is next Thursday. You know, look at the really quiet conditions. I'm going to jump ahead to Friday the 7th. And this is when we start to see a front. The GFS and the Euro are showing it, but we look to stay dry, it looks like, through next Friday. As I bring up the temperatures ahead of this front, next Friday, boom, there we go. We're back in the 60s. We're having a good time. We're liking it. So a lot of next week, 60s and sunshine. Pretty good start to November. I feel like November should be like what we say in March, in like a lamb, out like a lion, and vice versa, because it can be a rough month. All right, let me bring it up. That's our temperature map right there. We're ahead of the front. I'm going to go into Saturday morning. Now we can see the front moving into the region. With that, there probably is a rain chance as we head into Saturday. So there we go. So this is at, you know, give or take. This is at 5 a.m., not this Saturday, next Saturday, with a front that should be moving into the region. Kind of a skinny looking front. It's kind of the very leading edge of a chillier air mass. And that sweeps on through. And as we bring up the temperature map, behind that front, not extreme, but cooler. You're looking at 40s up in central Indiana, 50s over our area. Not crazy there. This is next Saturday, by the way. I'm going into Sunday the 9th morning. A little nippy out there, showing some temperatures in the 30s. This is not showing as cold as it was yesterday or the day before. It was showing more upper 20s. This is showing more lower mid 30s Again, this is not this Sunday. This is the following Sunday. So there you go. A little bit of a chill, perhaps next weekend. And this is going into Sunday the 9th afternoon. That's chilly right there. We'll see if that happens, but highs in the 40s. Might have to get that wood stove going here pretty soon with temperatures like that. All right, one last thing we'll look at is maybe beyond next weekend after that little thin front, the following week. So that would take us into mid-November. Weather pattern might turn a little more active by that time. So if we're going to look that far out, we might as well. All right, we're going on a limb here. We're going to go far out and see what's going to happen. So now I'm going to go into the 10th. I believe this is a Monday, quiet weather there. Going into the 11th of November, looking quiet there. I think that might be a Tuesday. I'm trying to do some calendar math in my head. This is the 12th. All right, now we're starting to see something to develop. The 13th of November shows a little active weather there. This is going into the 13th night. And who knows if this will happen. It's pretty far out. This is 2 weeks out, about as far out as the GFS weather model will go. But it shows a pretty large storm system in the works there. Again, big question marks, maybe, but maybe, mid-November, our weather pattern will get more active. We're kind of due for that. Oh my gosh, look at that. Look at the dip in the jet stream. So yeah, that would promote storm development. This is a huge dip. And the weather models get pretty wild when you get pretty far out. But this is a very loopy jet stream. If that happens in mid-November, you can get some wild storms to develop. We shall see. Pretty far out there, though. And let's see what kind of temperatures would match up for that. If you're new to the show, you're deep into the weather nerd segment of Ben at 10. All right, so this is showing warm air out ahead and then cold air back out west. Clashing air masses in November. So this is as far out as the GFS model goes. 384 hours out. Getting swirly, getting a little loopy with that jet stream. Kind of like a roller coaster. Might have some ups and downs over the next few weeks. All right, that has been Ben on a limb. So cheers to you this morning. We're getting through another gloomy start, but we've got some sunshine on the way this afternoon. Let me bring up the radar and satellite before we do a recap of that forecast. There you can, let me clear that out. One more sip. All right, all right. So let me bring this guy up full screen. The center of the low pressure is out here over West Virginia now. Low pressure has air flowing into it and around it. Thanks to the curvature of the earth and the spin of the earth, it is a cyclonic motion counterclockwise. And so we are on the back side of this system. You can see that flow coming in from the north. So we might have just a few more batches of some drizzle and some sprinkles through about midday, 2 p.m. We should start to see this sunshine working into our area. Look at that clearing trend out west. I'm going to make this a long face sunshine guy right here. That's what's moving in later today. We've got cool sunshine for tomorrow as well. So not far off. It is now sunny in Vincennes and getting that sunshine around Evansville. It's going to take a little bit longer to get here. There you can see another little spoke of sprinkles and light rain dropping in from Columbus, about to move into Seymour. So we're not done. If you're getting a break in the drizzle, could fill back in here over the next couple of hours. But as we tracked with the weather models earlier, most of them showing around 1 to 2 p.m. They're starting to move east of I-65 and improving conditions around that time. Aaron Wolf saying warm November. Could be. We shall see. Perry Porter, I am on Facebook. I even checked it. Maybe there's something going on with your Facebook. I am. Shows me live right now. Yep. See, I'm talking to myself. We are live on Facebook, Perry, but thanks for joining us on the good old YouTube. We got you covered wherever you can find us. And then bringing this back up, here is our weather headlines for today. Morning rain, drying out this afternoon. Cool Halloween sunshine. Weekend time change, 5:42 p.m. sunset Sunday, and then looking nice next week. Not the best to be playing ball out there with the cool breezes, the damp ground, but temperatures in the 50s this afternoon, lower 50s mostly, and then into the evening time into the 40s, northwest wind around 10 to 20. We got the Trunk or Treat Fest today at Ivy Tech, 5:30 p.m. to 7:30 p.m. Orlean, we're on both. We're on YouTube, Facebook, Extol Weather on Facebook, and we're also online at extolmag.com/weather. So trick-or-treating, food, pumpkin crafts, family photos, all that good stuff there in the Ogle Hall, Ivy Tech, Sellersburg, 5:30 p.m. to 7:30 p.m. So good times out there, good improving weather as well. Trick-or-treat forecast looking good tomorrow. Partly sunny in the 50s, sunset at 6:44 for the trick-or-treaters out there. And we're only 3 days away from that time change as we continue to count things down through the fall season. Average highs in the 50s in 12 days. Average first flurries in 16 days. Thanksgiving in 28 days. We talked about some weather history. I'll put this online around noon. You can take a longer look at it or watch the replay. And our weather jokes today. What do you call a foggy airplane landing? Condescending. Condensation. Descending. Or it could be, what do you call a mean airplane landing? Condescending. I think it kind of works both ways. I stayed up all night wondering where the sun went. Then it dawned on me. Why is it hard for people to wake up at dawn in Greece? Because dawn is tough on Greece. That old phrase from the Dawn soap. And Vicky Berger's having some trouble with Facebook. It might be a Facebook issue. Facebook, has some glitches every once in a while, but thanks for watching on YouTube. Working fine for me. That's weird. All right, so today's forecast, 54 degrees, light morning rain, a drier afternoon, northwest wind around 10 to 20. Our low tonight, 42 degrees. With a mostly clear sky. A lot of furnaces, I'm guessing, are starting to kick on around the area. And our forecast tomorrow for our Friday, Halloween, last day of October, lower 40s in the morning, some sunshine mixed with a few clouds, 58 the high temperature, our normal high is 64, so a bit below that. 8:08 the sunrise and our sunset at 6:44. And the 7-day forecast might get a sprinkle or two every once in a while, Saturday, Sunday, probably mostly cloudy overall, just going around 57 for our highs, lows in the lower 40s, but sunshine all over the place next week with lower 60s for highs, lower 40s for lows. So a really good-looking start to November next week. Not a bad start all in all, really. And we'll take another live look outside here. We'll take a few different views live outside. And here is the Brown County Inn Hotel, Restaurant, and Bar. As I was mentioning earlier, we're just not getting the best combination. We're getting I think from the drought, the leaves were weakened, and they're dropping off. As we're starting to get into peak color, we're just not getting real healthy fall foliage out there. And then this here is the live look with the Falls of the Ohio.org camera. which looks a lot like what we're looking outside here, which is the gray, damp ground. There's the concrete truck blending in with the low clouds and the drizzle. Just another damp and dreary, gloomy start to the day. But hey, we got some sunshine back for this afternoon. I want to remind you, you can always get your weather information, lots of weather tools here on extolmag.com/weather. Like, subscribe on our YouTube channel where some folks are watching, having a little trouble on Facebook this morning. 7-day forecast with the weather story, hour by hour outlook, short-term hour by hour planner, extended outlook there, drought monitor, traffic, weather, interactive map here with temperatures and winds, lightning, other weather alerts that might be out there. The weather alerts across the entire United States you can plop on as well. They've got, what do they have out here? Fog, dense fog advisories, and then farther out west over Kansas, they've got freeze warnings. So you can see what's happening all over the place. Oops, I went back too far. So there we go. Lots of different tools there for you. I also want to thank our partners. Ooh, I've still got it on the, I was clicking around on all kinds of stuff here for you, and I wasn't showing you. I was just showing you outside. Again, there's all the different stuff. You can also go to Live Radar here, and not only is it Live Radar, there you can see the hour-by-hour outlook. Shows where the sun is in the sky and when it's going to set here. There's all different types of weather variables that you can look at, daily weather, and you've got hourly weather, weather galore for Southern Indiana and beyond right there. Again, I want to thank our partners here at lionsroofingco.com, protecting your most valuable asset for a lifetime, getting into busy weather season. If you see any leaks, any drywall damage, whatever it might be, get it checked out. You can see some free estimates here that you can fill out, or you can just give them a call. They got you covered on both sides of the river, 812-294-3595. And they can get back to work here very soon after a wet couple days. And here is American Family Insurance, specifically Michael Long, my insurance agent, my mom's insurance agent. I got a lot of things covered, obviously, through him, our home, our auto. And we've had a big price reduction in our auto, thankfully. And there's different tools that can help you out with that as well. They've got an app, a Drive Safe app. And actually, it's helped me drive safer, I'll be honest, to save some money. Student discounts. He can help you out with ways to save. Tell him I sent you, 812-578-3072. That is Michael Long, proud to be an American Star certified agency, excellence in customer experience. All right, guys. That has been a show right there. And just one reminder, you can always contact me, ben@extolmag.com. Email me right there. If you want to learn more about advertising and marketing solutions, we make commercials, videos, we do live interviews, on-site interviews, logos on our products, on our content. 1.5 million views just on my page in the last 28 days. And we've got a way bigger megaphone, so to speak, with Extol Media here in Southern Indiana and Louisville, Kentucky, and beyond. So again, thanks for partnering up. And we've got, good morning, Ben. Let's dry out and get back to sunshine. We're going to do that later today, Robert Simpson. And we got Lillian Laswit with Have an Awesome Day. All right, I might have to bundle up tomorrow. I think tomorrow we'll do our Halloween from the back deck. Maybe I will show you my costume tomorrow, maybe not. That's the tease for tomorrow morning. Another dreary day. When's the sun coming back? Carol Payne, the sun is going to come back this afternoon. We'll start to gradually dry things out west to east. I'd say, 1 to 3 p.m. kind of time frame. We're already starting to see that sunshine in western Indiana and western Kentucky. So it's coming. It's improving here very soon. So we're going to end it with Lillian Lasley's positive comment here on a Thursday, a Halloween Eve, a Friday Eve, or October 30th here at 10:44. And we'll see you tomorrow morning, live from my house from the back deck. And again, maybe showing off the costume. We'll see. All right, you guys have a good one and enjoy the return of sunshine later today.